This was recorded on July 9th, and I'm finally getting around to editing and releasing it, over 3 months later. Doing just brief commentary for lack of time, check out the other towers for deeper explanations. First off, I can't believe they translated pierce to stab. It's always going to be pierce to me, sorry for any confusion. I do like this tower as it gives us a chance to use various classic units, which is not at all because the last pierce unit to come out was in the Academy arc. Even if the base units weren't particularly good, I appreciate those simpler times and they manage just fine, with Free Val often putting in work as my main damage source. That said, let's take a stab at it. We're starting with the no buffs floor for 21F, which means the last floor will be the item damage floor according to the standard rotation. Oh boy. The boss needs at least 5 debuffs before it starts taking real damage, so we'll be mostly relying on items and V Eska for this. I'm using blue jelly for the guaranteed crit panels, since the 90% reduction to buff potency seals off standard crit rate buffs. One of the biggest issues with auto is that the targeting will always pick the earliest timeline unit, making it hard to force it to target units that get broken and have their turns pushed back. So losing Marion actually means that the boss will stay at the front after Eska's hit for Val and Yuna to kill. We intentionally overwrite the burst panel to avoid the flock burst. The enemies run 2 support turns, then we just walk the rest of the way to the finish. Pierce 22 is the counter floor. The sheep and golem armed with fatal counters until you take out the Punis. And there's 4 conditions you need to meet. First, breaking the sheep in one shot requires quite high break on Marion. Next, Eska needs to not break the Puni to retain the targeting. After that, Val needs to roll a crit and one-shot the Puni. And finally, Flock needs to survive the AoEs. If you can make it through all that, the counters are disabled and you can kill the rest at your own pace. And these Pierce units don't have quite the explosive power of the Forerunners and other attributes, but slow and steady takes it.
いつも通りにやるだけよ。
23F is the alternative damage floor, hitting attackers with a 90% damage reduction and forcing you to use other sources. Yes, that is indeed Monica, honestly not sure why anymore. Probably for the turn order and it being easier to keep her alive. The opening wave of enemy attacks is pretty harsh, but once we make it through that, Rorona sets up the Esca burst to debuff the slag, then we nuke everything with Sophie's burst.
今が攻め時です。すっごくいい調子。まだまだ行くよ。それ、ありがとう。やあ、助かります。すっごくいい調子。頑張ったね。助かるわ。そろそろいい時間かな。私のとっておき味わってください。もう一口どうぞ。崩しました。穴だらけにして私の邪魔はさせないわ。そこね。いいね。私の力いくよ。先生直伝の技見せてあげる。うまくいったね。よーし、私たちの勝ちだね。よし、確実に行くわよ。作戦は任せるわね、マリオン。
Pierce 24 is the mushroom and bats floor, the main gimmicks being that you deal less damage with ailments and the bats are invulnerable while the mushroom is alive. So we just need to get ahead of the mushroom, break it, and have Val take it out with an S2. Both the break and damage requirements are quite high, and we need to roll the crit for the Val burst. With the mushroom dead, the rest is just the Pierce shell taking out the remaining bats one by one.
私の誇り、私の技。いい勝負だったわね。やっつけちゃうんだから。
Pierce 25 features the red Puni gimmick where they try to screw you over with buffs and debuffs when they die. We have one of the few attackers with AoE skill 2 in Mu, and she can actually wipe all of them, then kill the boss before it recovers from Ryza's burst break. Slash Ryza was once the main AoE debuffer, and she briefly reprises that role here, simpler times, I tell ya.
気をつけた方が良さそうな相手ね。上等上等、倒しがいがあるわ。
26F is the new ailment floor, with enemies taking increased damage when afflicted with ailments, though not significantly reduced damage without them, as in the earlier ailment floors. I remember this being somewhat hard, probably because I couldn't get enough damage out of Mu to sweep everything. So whacking the weasels one by one just takes a while, leaving a lot of room for the random ailment panel gimmicks. A dual attacker setup or Rose Su would probably have worked okay as well, but is slightly harder to manage on auto, especially given the speed differences between the Pierce attackers.
全力を出せ、私の本気ごちそうしてあげる。これでおしまい。楽しかったわ。これは厄介ね。遅い。体に力が入る。みんなに金丸だよ。すっごくありがとう。そろそろいい時間かな。私のとっておき味わってください。もう一口どうぞ。いい流れね。皆さんに癒しをありがとう。手加減なしで一気にいきましょう。全力を見せてあげる。逃がさないわよ。覚悟しなさい。狙い通りね。みんなでやればきっと。遅い。倒れるわけにはいかないのに。すっごくありがとう。食らいなさい。それ。ありがとうございます。準備 OK だよ。あれれ、なんか違う。まあこれはこれで。あれれ、いくよ。みんなに届けよう。流れ星を導き出す。ありがとう。全力を出す。私の本気ごちそうしてある。これでおしまい。バレリアよ、覚えときなさい。そんなビリビリだろう。そろそろいい時間かな。私のとっておき味わってください。もう一口どうぞ。いいね。うまく。痛いじゃ済まないわよ。あれれ、いくよ。みんなに届けよう。体に頑張ったね。助かります。全力を出す。私の本気ごちそうしてある。これでおしまい。あれれ、なんだかいくよ。みんなに届けよう。よし、やるぞ。痛いじゃ済まないわよ。準備 OK だよ。あれれ、なんか違う。まあこれはこれで。あれれ、いくよ。みんなに届けよう。痛いじゃ済まないわよ。勝ち。 フロッケ、あんまり無理しちゃダメよ。ありがとうございます。でも戦う覚悟。
27F features a bird and beast combo, with the beast gaining debuff immunity and the bird gaining evade.
流れ星の導きです。助かったわ。そろそろ決めちゃいましょう。よーし、すっごくありがとう。
It's usually a pretty easy floor, but I think I was lacking firepower and had some timeline issues.
なんとかなる相手からいくよ。みんなに届けよう。
It's probably the first appearance of dive strats for this tower, allowing Flock and Marion to die to make way for Val's bursts. The bird's evasion was problematic. Without that, Val could have killed it sooner with her normal skills. On manual, you can use skill 1 to clear the evasion, then break and kill it before the next round, but auto required lining up bursts to bypass the dodge.
これが私の誇り、私の技。体に近い。頑張ったね。助かります。そろそろいい時間かな。わあ、私のとっておき味わってください。もう一口どうぞ。しまった。全力を出せそうね。私の本気。ごちそうしてこれでおしまい。勝ち。バレリアさん、背中は任せてください。ありがとう。おかげで全力を出せるわ。
Pierce 28 is the most basic solo ghost pattern, the ghost preempting you with its initiative status.
任せて。
I was at least not strong enough to one-shot it, so I use multiple bursts, one being provided by Academy Rorona.
今が攻め時です。一気に攻めましょう。これで安心です。すっごくありがとうね。食らいなさい。皆さんに癒しを。ありがとう。
And this requires sort of a unique turn order, since Rorona's panel goes to the first ally after her, which would be the fastest member of your party. And so we need Val to be faster than Marion and Flock, both traditionally very fast units. On manual, you'd solve this by just using Val S1 to put her behind Rorona, regardless of where she started initially. If you haven't realized already, most of the challenge with auto setups is wrangling the dumb AI to accomplish what would be relatively simple things for less dumb human players.
全力を出せそうに。私の本気。ごちそうしてこれでおしまい。いい勝負だったわね。 つも通りにやるだけよ。
And here we are at last. The item damage floor is Pierce's 29th.
本気でいくわよ。
The massive reduction to attack damage forces you to use items for damage output. What an absurd idea.
お、いよいよだね。こちらをどうぞ。よっ。私の出番。
Monica makes her third appearance, even though the enemy attacks are almost exclusively AoE, so she largely does nothing to protect the party.
私の邪魔はそこね。
But some of the devil's attacks can be randomly single target. You can see it briefly on the timeline before the attack selection is re-rolled after the break.
調子がいいみたい。今が使い時ね。そこね。そこだ。これは厄介ね。狙うは一つ。そこ。まずいわね。そろそろいい時間かな。ああ、私のとっておき味わってください。もう一口どうぞ。崩しました。
In this case, it re-rolls to AoE, making me wonder once again what she's doing here.
穴だらけにしてあげる。
Oh right, it's because item damage is based on your total party stats, and her leader skill is a stat buff to pierce attribute units.
本気を出させてもらうわ。
Tess, on the other hand, is quite useful at protecting the party with her burst.
お別れよ。さよなら。
Between the debuffs from having good breakers in Marion and Eska and decent healers with Academy Sophie and Tess, this item floor turns out not bad, despite how high it is in the tower.
全力を見せてあげるわ。逃がさないわよ。覚悟しなさい。狙い通りね。みんなの思いを一つに。遅い。そろそろいい時間かな。ああ、私のとっておき味わってください。もう一口どうぞ。ついにいっちゃう。バリバリ働くよ。こちらをどうぞ。と、いい動きだね。テスさんの本気見せる。うわありゃー。でへ。穴だらけにしてまとめて片付け。そこね。今の私なら。気合い入れていこう。ありがとう。全力を見せてあげるわ。逃がさないわよ。覚悟しなさい。狙い通りね。一気に行きましょう。遅い。あのさ。うん、絶好調。こちらをどうぞ。よっ、いい動きだね。お仕事完了だね。
GG. And finally, we have Pierce's exclusive 30th floor, which I've previously covered in the context of explaining Mimi's kit, back when the explanations were more substantial, so I'll just copy that into here. If you've seen that, well, here we are again, at the end of another tower auto. Not much left to go, it's been a good run. Thanks for watching. Pierce 30F is maybe the only time I've ever needed to use Mimi, so it's a good chance to talk about her kit. The floor's main gimmick is boosted panel effects, and the ghosts in the second wave can flip red and blue panels, which is a pain with Soph and not being able to manually pick targets. We need Mimi ahead of Sophie because otherwise, Sophie would overwrite Mimi's healing panels with her own, and Mimi won't overwrite blue panels with her healing ones. And this is a massive problem with her kit, and all the other panel stuff added later that they often clash with each other. Her second problem is that she doesn't generate panels at full health, so we need her to intentionally get hit and not healed to full in the first wave, to allow her passive to work at the start of the second. To meet these conditions, we'll need to reset for specific enemy actions, with the pixie using its heal after being broken, and the first sheep that we don't one-shot needs to single-target Mimi. The first wave kills intentionally take a specific number of turns to allow a specific amount of item cooldown to recharge. This draws out the first wave longer while also allowing all our characters to stay at max HP, except Mimi, who needs to not be. Wave 2 opens with a massive AoE that's meant to filter off attribute units, and just does a ton of damage in general. And this is where Mimi's passive comes into play, making the heal panel that she collects immediately before Sophie can delete it. We need Sophie to use items before making panels, but after Eska hits the ghost, so they don't end up getting flipped or misaligned, it was a pain to get this timing right on auto. Val one-shots the unbroken ghost, preventing its flipping from triggering, and Yuna takes out the other. The heal from Mimi's first panel on top of Sophie's afterwards is what allows us to survive the dragon's second AoE. The dragon's attacks beyond the first are randomly AoE or single target, and we need the third with the blue panel bonus to be ST, taking out Mimi and leaving the rest of the squad to finish up. Sacrificing Mimi and not breaking the dragon too soon is what gives us the positioning for Val on the burst and Yuna on the blue panel for the kill. And that wraps up Mimi's brief moment of relevance, which is better than some characters get, but doesn't ease the pain of pulling her instead of Ryza, speaking from personal experience. Ultimately had to spark Ryza, though for the average person, not sure that's worth it considering the game's trajectory since then. GG. But I'll cope and go over some more interesting Ryza stuff in a separate vid. I hear there's a way to be notified when those are posted. On getting the speed and turn orders right is really hard. Since Soph is naturally much faster than Mimi, Eska needs to precede Soph, Val needs to not kill the first sheep, and Yuna needs to be after her, but ahead of various enemies. So you just need to meet the break and damage requirements on top of those speed constraints. Or you can just do it on manual, with skill ones and controlled targeting and item timing, but I'm not making content for children here. If you can appreciate doing things in challenging, convoluted, or creative ways. Thanks for watching.